All right, this is the third video in chapter 10. This is about misleading graphs and statistics. And whether you know it or not, people like to try to use statistics to prove their own point, whether it's an accurate point or not. So sometimes they'll try to mislead you a little bit. And this lesson is about that. So our vocab. The first four words should be very familiar to you. The fifth word is possibly a new one. Those words are mean, median, mode, range, and outlier. So let's talk about them. The mean is usually called the average, and this is when we take the sum of all the values in a set and we divide it by the number of data in that set. So the first thing we do is we add up all the numbers in this set of data, and then we divide by how many data there are in the set. So adding and then dividing. A lot of times the mean ends up being a decimal. The median is the middle number when the set is in order. So the first thing we want to do is order the set and then find that middle number. If there are two middle numbers, we add them together and divide by 2. So if there are two middle numbers, we actually find the mean of those numbers. Mode is the most frequently used value in a set of data. So this is the number that shows up the most. It is okay to have two modes. It is okay to have no modes. So use your judgment when you're looking at these. If no numbers repeat, you can say no mode. If two numbers repeat the same number of times, and they're the most frequent, then we could have two modes. It's okay. The next measure of center is called the range. The range is the difference between the highest and lowest values in a set of data. Remember what difference means in math. Difference means that we are subtracting. So we're taking our highest number, subtracting our lowest number, and that's how we find the range. The last new vocab word is the word outlier. An outlier is a value that is far too high or far too low to fit in with the rest of the set. So when I talk about outliers, I talk about birthday parties. So let's say that a 7th grade student is having a birthday party. At your birthday party, you probably have a lot of students there. They're 12 years old, 13 years old, maybe some 14-year-olders. But if a 33-year-old math teacher walks into that party, I'm too old to be there. I don't fit in. I'm not your friend. I'm your teacher. So I would be an outlier. So think of what that set of data might look like. A whole bunch of 12s, a whole bunch of 13s, a whole bunch of 14s, and then a 33. That's what an outlier is. Far too big or far too small to fit in with the rest of the data. So take a look at those vocab words, study them, make some flashcards for them. Now, just a refresher, these terms are called measures of center. So you may want to write that down in your notes. The mean, the median, the mode, and the range are all measures of center. What that means is it's a way to describe a set of data by using only one number from the set. And the question here says, when do we use each measure of center to describe a set of data? So the mean is what we try to use as often as possible. We use the mean or the average to describe a set, but if there are outliers in the set, they mess with the mean. They make the mean too high or too low. So we use the mean only when a set has no outliers. The median, we use the median when a set has one or more outliers in it. So the median is not as accurate as the mean, but it does do a good job as a backup if we have outliers in the set. The mode is used when the set is made up of category data. Now, what that means is we're not dealing with numbers here. This isn't number data. This is category data like favorite ice cream flavor, favorite color, favorite book. There's no way to find the mean or the median of ice cream flavors. So instead we use the mode. And the last measure of center, this is the range. It's used very, very seldom, so I'm going to put an X through it. We use it to talk about the spread of the data, but it's used so infrequently that I want you to put an X over it. These are the three measures that we use to describe a set of data. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at number 3 from your notes. We will do some practice stuff together here. And doing number 3 should help you to do the rest of the questions in this section. So the question says, Joe Snedeker reported the average high temperature over the past 7 days. Which measure of center should he use to describe the set of data? Well, Joe Snedeker wants to use one number to describe this whole set. So remember, our 3 big measures of center that we could use are the mean, the median, and the mode. So let's start by finding let's start with the mode. We have 55, 56, 49, 48, 52, 50, and 53. None of those numbers repeat, so we are going to say there is no mode. In addition to that, we know that the mode is typically saved for category data only, so we're not going to use the mode to describe this set of data. That leaves us with the mean or the median. Well, let's look at our set again, 55, 56, 49, 48, 52, 50, 53. Those numbers are all relatively close together, so I'm going to say there are no outliers. No outliers. That's a good thing for us. If there are no outliers in a set of data, that means that we get to use the mean to describe the set. So that's what we want to use to describe the set of data. Just as a review, let's find the mean to see how it is done. If we want to know what our mean is, first thing we are going to do, we're going to add up all the numbers. So let's add them up here. We have 55 plus 56 plus 49 plus 48 plus 52 plus 50 plus 53. We add them all up, we get 363. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers in our set of data. So we're going to divide that by 7. 7 does not go into 3, but it goes into 36 5 times. Oops, there we go, 35. Subtract that and we get a 1. Bring down the 3. 7 goes into 13 1 time. Subtract that, get a 6. And I'm going to use this, I'm going to keep this as fraction form. I'm going to bring my 6 up in my numerator, and my 7 is my denominator. So the mean here is 51 6/7 degrees. Now that looks a little weird. We would usually do a decimal there, but this was just a quick way to show that result. Just for fun, let's also do the median, just to remember how to solve for median, in case you don't remember. So remember the median, the first thing we have to do is put our data in order. So our smallest number is 48. Then we have 49. And then 50, 52, 53, 55, and 56. So some students like to do this by crossing off the low and the high, low, high, low, high, low, high, and then we get our middle number, which is 52. So that would be how we'd find the median, just as a quick refresher. Remember, if there are 2 middle numbers, we add them together and divide by 2. So there was no mode, the median's 52, the mean is 51 6/7. We want to use the mean to describe this set of data because there are no outliers in the set. Okay, use the information from this video to help you do the rest of the questions from your note packet, and study, review mean, median, mode, and range, and when each one is used.